Hello friends, myself Ananya Dashgupta. Welcome to Pet Paul Vision channel. This channel is maintained by Professor Dr. Amalendra Chakravarti. As per demand and desire of the pet loving people of society, this channel is launched for various aspects of pet care management. We feel proud to open such a channel to raise the voice for them. If you like our channel, please subscribe us. Now we introduce Dr. Amalendra Chakravarti, who was a former professor and dean of West Bengal University of Animal and Fishery Science. He is an eminent professor and pet practitioner in India. He has got academic excellence to the extent of PhD and DSc. He is a fellow of H Society and recipient of Lifetime Achievement Award from National Pet Animal Society. After his retirement, at present he is only concerned with pet animal practice and book writing on pets.
Hello guys. I am Professor Dr. Amalendra Chakravarti, residing in 103 Subhash Nagar Road and doing pet practice for a long time, nearly about 3 decades.
Sir, as you know, we observe that many of time a pet lover is deceived or not getting the desired pet from the market. Kindly let me know how we should proceed for that.
Thank you for the question. Question is very pertinent because nowadays, most of the time, the people who are very much inclined to purchase a pet is not getting their desirable pet, or at the same time, they are procuring sick pets or they are deceived monetarily. What I feel, having my long period of experience, that a pet lover who desires to have pet should consider certain points prior to purchase. If they go for considering those points, as I will be mentioning now, I think they will be benefited for that. Otherwise, the scene will remain same. One thing I want to tell you to the viewers, that why man sells pet in the market. Maybe cattle market, maybe dog market, maybe pig market, maybe horse market, maybe pet market. Now we are concerned with pet market. There are 2 reasons. One reason that for money he wants to sell. Second reason is that the dog is sick, that's why he wants to sell. If we cannot differentiate between the 2, then the problem arises. Prior to that, one has to have idea about the different breeds of pets. Now if you don't have any idea about pets, you do not know about dog, but you want to have a dog, the main thing which you will have to understand, dog is not a doll or teddy bear. It is a living being. It has got a life. Therefore, it has to be treated differently. And you have to know the different breeds. If you want to have if you do not have any idea about the breeds, you may not get the desired breeds. That's why, how do you know? How do you get know about the breeds? So you'll have to go to some well-known breeders, see the dog of your choice. You can go to them and visit the dog shows, or you can go to a owner who is having some pups, or you can read some magazines wherefrom you can get some idea, or at this last but not the least, you can consult a book where you get the characteristics of different breeds. That is very important. Second point, if you want to get a pet, you must go to a reputed pet shop. Because if you go to a reputed pet shop, then not only you get pet, you also get the different pet accessories, which are required, which will be required during rearing. Therefore, you should go to a pet shop, not the pet shop which has got a name and fame, not the ordinary pet shop. You can get it from a breeder also, reputed breeders, or sometimes you can get it from a relative, your friend, etc. Now the main pertinent question is space. Suppose you are staying in a 2 BHK flat and want to have a dog or want to have a pet, which will ultimately become a dog or beach. In that case, many times the flat holders may not allow due to its noise, due to its parking, due to its soiling the floor, indecent behavior, they may not allow. But recently legislation has come from the Bangalore statutory body that in a flat you can keep one pet, that having the authorization from the municipality or corporation, whatever it may be. In a flat you can get pet or dog, but if you got a house, you are allowed to rear 3 dogs or 3 pets officially. Nobody can question about it. That is legally accepted. Now if you want to go for a giant breed, you must have a lot of space. If it is a large breed, it also requires space. If it is a small breed, it may require less space. If you don't have a garden, if you don't have a lawn, if you don't have a big house, please don't go for giant or large breed, because that animal will be not comfortable. That fellow will be not comfortable, and denial of space to the pet is simply denial of its freedom, which is one form of cruelty. Therefore, space is very, very important. We should look after the pet. Now again, one thing I tell you, many times we have seen, people used to go for pet just to show their status. But it cannot be a status symbol. It has to be maintained. From the morning to evening, you have to maintain. A rigorous practice is required. But lifestyle, you as a lifestyle or as a lifestyle, you cannot keep the pet. And because pet needs care, feeding, grooming, exercise, etc. At the same time, if your pet is long-haired or British dog is long-haired, it requires brushing and grooming. One thing I tell you, brushing is more important than bathing in case of dog. So brushing, regular brushing, it is just like a flower vase. Flower vase, if you want brushing and brushing, it will glitter. Otherwise it will not glitter. It will not show the desired beauty which you expect out of the dog. Skin will be matted. So lifestyle is not important. Important is that whether you can afford the time required to groom the animal. That is very, very important. One thing I tell you, pet rearing is nowadays has become a very, very costly affair. It was initially when I was practicing, it was not that much, it was a little bit less. Now various things are coming out of for the pets, and those are very valuable items, and therefore the cost is increasing. So when prior to purchase, you must have to have a budget. Know what should be the budget to rear a pet at least for a year. That budget will be required, because if you do not have that budget with you, or if you cannot invest that amount, then the pet will not be cared. That part is very important. And there is an annual investment. And this investment goes for deworming, goes for treatment, goes for vaccine cost, right? Goes for training, etc., etc. And therefore, if you don't have the budget, in that case, if you have a pet, what will happen? You cannot maintain, you cannot feed, because your purse is not permitting. And therefore, that fellow is suffering. Therefore, one is to have the expenditure which is required in his budget. Then again the question comes, if you have a pet, what will be the future? I tell you, in a family, husband, wife and pet. Husband and wife both goes for job. If both goes for the job, pet remains alone. Pet remains alone, therefore if it has got any need, that cannot be taken care of, right? Sometimes it so happens a child or a boy or a person has purchased a pet. After purchase, the pet is growing, and that man may go for job for elsewhere. If you go for job for elsewhere, then parent has to look after the pets. If it is a large breed, it is very, very difficult for the parents to control the dog, or feed the dog, or groom the dog, or bath the dog. Therefore, that point has to be taken into consideration when you are going to purchase a pet. That parent will be able to nurse the pet or not, adequate care and nursing will be possible by them or not. That is very, very important, right?
Sir, can you explain us that why people should keep pet in a house? What is the purpose of having a pet?
It's a very important question, and the question is very relevant in the present day. The thing is this, before purchasing pet, the points I have narrated are to be borne in mind. But the main purpose of having pet, or why the people are so much inclined to get pet, is the breaking down of the family. Joint family is broken, scattered. Now it has become a nuclear family, or sometimes we call atomic family, where the father, mother and one child, and that child requires a company and demands for a pup to fondle. And therefore, if he's a boy, he goes for a bitch, female pup. If he's a girl, just the reverse. And they used to call it brother and sister. One thing I tell you, pet helps in the mental development of the children. Why? Because the questions which we have forgotten to care and share. Nowadays, in a very cruel society, people have forgotten about caring and sharing. But if you have a pet, that pet will make you to understand about caring and sharing. The boy knows he is the only master. He is the only man in the family. He is the key player. So whatever he demands, parent is to fulfill. But if there is a pet and the pet is sick, not able to play with the boy will immediately ask his father or mother, "Mother, my Bhulu is sick, please take it to a doctor." So caring comes from here. And sharing means when the boy is taking his food, he also at the same time he is to ask his mother or father, whatever maybe, give some food to Bhulu also. So caring and sharing both are important, which nowadays people are forgetting day by day. That's why in order to remove loneliness, one has to go for some hobby. Hobby may be a good hobby or it may be a bad hobby. Bad hobby, if it is a good hobby, in that case as gardening may be one of the hobby or painting may be one of the hobby, but pet loving, pet caring is most important hobby because it is a living. When it runs, when it moves, when it's tail, so in that case you get a lot of pleasure out of it. You forget many things. That's why it's a very good hobby. You can spend some time with the pets. You can walk in the morning with the pets. So pet helps not only his exercise, your exercise also. A lot of calories being burned through exercise. That is possible because pet is asking you to go to outside for poop and other stuff. Therefore that is also important. Again I tell you, the thing is this, nowadays in many hospitals, especially the AIDS hospital, where the people are suffering from a lot of pain and agony, and at the same time cancer hospital, where the people are getting a lot of suffering, a lot of pain. In that cases, in the ward, some healthy dog is being sent. When that healthy dog moves around the ward, so they stare at the dogs, forget their pain for some time. So we had pain dilemma, right? This is known as pet facilitated therapy. This is coming up. In that way, helps us. And besides the protection, this thing, that thing, those things are also there, right? But most important thing is nowadays, in the modern fast society, is to avoid monotony of life, right? That's why pet keeping has become an important tool for the children. If you want to grow the children in a proper manner, you have to rear, you have to go for a pet, maybe dog, maybe bird, maybe something else.
Maybe cat.
Maybe cat, so anything. So that's why pet is important. But one thing, when you go for a pet, it may so happen, whether you go for a male or female, one thing I tell you, female is more or less homely. It wants to remain with the family. But the male used to go outside, it has got a tendency to go outside. That point also to be taken into consideration. Whether I go for male or whether I go for a female. Again I tell you, whether I have got time to groom or not. If I do not have time to groom, in that case it is better to go for short hair. If you have time to groom and brush, in that cases you can go for long hair breeds, right?
Sir, please tell me, what point to be considered for selection of a dog?
Yes, that is a very good point. The thing is this, when you are going to get a dog or you don't have any idea of dog, as a novice, you cannot know about the health of the animals. But there are certain superficial points or certain superficial problems which can be exhibited by the dog and which can be appreciated by a layman even. So as a person, not as a doctor, you must see certain points. First of all is the skin, because skin you can visualize through your naked eye. So meticulous search is to be made to locate any skin affection or skin infection or any discharge from eye, nose, genitalia, etc., which can be visible. Why skin is important? In dog, I tell you, skin is very, very sophisticated in comparison to other animals, even human being. Skin is so sensitive that there is skin problem in every dog. Even a dog winning a prize, even silver prize, that may have certain eruption in the skin. Skin is very, epidermal layer of the skin is very, very thin. So you look at the skin, see whether it is matted or it is cloudy, it is very, very bright, right? Lustreless, all these things, lusterful. So you see the skin and see the body and see any affection is there or any worm like tick, ectoparasite like flea, etc. is over there or not. That has to be taken because this may create problem in the long run. Then you can appreciate the temperature. If you have the capacity or capability to record the temperature through thermometer, it is good. But here it has to be inserted in the rectum. If you cannot, in that case, what should be your criteria? Whether the animal is having temperature or not. You just put your hand on the body and on the abdomen and see on the thigh and see it seems to be warm.
Higher than normal.
Other than normal, right? Again, you see the muscles, nose. It is dry or not. If it is dry, then there may be rise of temperature. Again, I tell you, dry becomes for two reasons. One is dehydration, one is rise of temperature. That is important. At the same time, when you are purchasing the dog, that is also very important. If you purchase a dog in the summer, temperature may be 1 or 2 degrees higher. That has to be taken into account. That is not fever, that is hyperthermia. So fever and hyperthermia, in both the cases, temperature will rise, but one is infection, other is non-infection. Okay? Then you open the mouth and see whether any lesions in the tongue, throat, gum, teeth, cheeks, etc. Open the mouth and see whether there is any lesions. That is important. Again, you close the mouth and see whether both the upper and lower jaw, they are coming close together or one is going
Equal or not?
equal, but one is proceeding further, one is coming
Inside.
So we call this is also problem. That is defect. And in dog show, this will not be considered because your appropriate apposition is not there of the gum. We call overshot jaw or undershot jaw, right? So that is also important. That you should take care of if you purchase. Then if you look at the nose should be cool, cold, moist, and there no discharge from the nose. Sometimes discharge may be unilateral, sometimes may be bilateral, but there should be no discharge from the nose. Inside should be dry. Then you examine the eye and see whether it is having any lesions in the cornea, sclera, or opacity of the lens, means cloudiness, maybe due to cataract. Then you test the blindness. It may so happen your pup is blind or impaired vision. How? Just you put your hand like that and see the blinking of the eye, blinking of the eyelids. If it is blind, it will not blink. But if it is blind, it will not blink. But if it is not blind, immediately it will blink, but it will respond. But here you cannot see, therefore they are not responding to the stimulus. Then we examine the ear flap. Ear flap, it may be puffy, swelling, we call hematoma. That is very important. And there may be accumulation of blood within the layer. Again, inside of the ear, you see there is a smell from the discharge, all these things you see from the ear. And at the same time, it can hear or not, that is also very important. Many dogs, they do not hear. That part has to be taken into care. Make a sound and see response. That will indicate that it is hearing or not. Many a time we have seen there is congenital deafness, congenital cataract. These are all congenital. Some breeds, they are predisposed to certain problem. That has also to be taken into consideration. So overall, what are the things appreciable from outside through appearance? Those things are to be noted. At the same time, I will tell you, you allow the pup to walk. When it walks, how it works. It is not working properly, that indicates that there is something wrong in the legs or in the hip. That is also important. So you allow the animal to move, run, and you may find some problem over there. So all these things you have seen, and you see the testicles also, whether the testicles are descended or not. Many times, many people are coming purchasing dog having no testicles or sometimes one testicle. We call monorchid or we call cryptorchid. That is also not important because for breeding purposes that will be useless. At the same time, for show also, it may be discarded.
Disqualified.
So that point also has to be taken. So you must look at the balls. Balls are there. It may show when the balls are inside, so it may descend after 6 months or so. But if it is not at all there, in that case, problem will be a real problem for your reproductive purposes. That part is very, very important. So these points you see, more or less these points you see. At the same time, you can see if you just rub your hands in the chest area, what the ribs, and see the ribs are coming to your hand, that the ribs are visible, right? So muscle there is less. So it is the emaciated dog. So that is also important. So at the same time, if you look at the eyes may be pale. So it may be anemic dog, right? And if possible, you take the weight of the animal. If the weight is very less, so in that case, it indicates that the animal is malnourished. So all these points you have to see. Animal should be agile, bright, full of joy, and running here and there, creating a lot of problems here and there, creating a lot of
Joyful
appearance. That indicates that the animal is healthy. And most important point is response to the call. If it does not respond to the call, it indicates that it's not feeling well. But a bright one, if you put a food there, immediately run to get the food. But the other one is lagging behind because he's not getting any interest to reach the food. These are the points to be considered, by opinion.
Sir, our last question is, what should be a behavior of a healthy pup?
That's right. Behavior is very, very crucial. We call social and performing behavior. Social behavior means when it attached to the family, how it behaves. He is equally taking into consideration the values of all the family members or apathetic to some, not liking them, right? At the same time, the performing behavior is that we call working dog. That means it has to work. It has to do something. You will be surprised to hear dog is kept as a watchdog. Dog is kept as a narcotic detection dog, criminal detection dog. Sometimes dog is used for various aspects of quality of life. One thing I tell you, if a dog is properly maintained or properly cared of, properly trained, it will obey the command of the master throughout his life. Even up to death knell, it will continue to remain faithful to the master. This is the beauty of the nature of dog. They do not betray anybody. You can trust dog. You can trust a dog because it will not betray you. It is not going to harm you unless you harm it. It is not going to harm you. For one thing only, it wants love, compassion, love, compassion, the love. These are the things they want, and some foods for the living. So, when I say about the behavioral part which is to be taken into consideration for a pup is excitability. When there is any noise or any sound, whether it is exciting or not, or even when the owner is coming, it is excited or not. Excitability, but the morose one will never be excited. He will lag behind. Then vocalization, it will go on sound. It will vocalize because my master is coming, so I will vocalize. Or if something is wrong, in order to draw the attentions of the family members, we will vocalize. Whether that fellow is vocalizing or keeping indifferent. If it is keeping indifferent, that indicates that it is not your active, not at all you're socially compatible. Vocalization, then playfulness, very important things. If you give a ball, toy, anything, it will go on playing with that. And you can also play with it. So these, when you want that your pup should play, it is playing or not. That's playfulness is also very, very important behavior. Playful dog means the healthy dog. Sometimes the barking, I have already told you, vocalization, but vocalization may turn to a barking. Barking is all right, but if excessive barking may create problem in the society, neighbors. If you go on barking in the night, so neighbors will be annoyed. So excessive barking is not
allowed.
wanted. When you give a command, don't bark, it should
Listen.
over to it. This is very. Then when the trainer comes, they have got their own choice. They do not like to go under training from a particular man. So trainer and the dog, pup, if they don't have a bondage, if they do not unite, they do not in the same line, the dog pup will never adopt training. It will not accept training. So trainability is also very important. That means your pup should go training and it should obey all the commands which are coming from the trainer. If it's a sit, it should sit. If it's a bit down, it should go down. Right? So it should follow the command of the trainer. But some dogs, they do not. That becomes a problem. Then aggression to dog. That is also very important. Aggressive behavior. There are various types of aggressive behavior that will take care in other time. That is a big chapter. Aggression of dogs or aggressiveness of dogs. There are various reasons for aggressiveness. That is also important. Then food dependency, all right, is natural. Then care dependency, it is also natural. If you pet the animals, care the animals, they like it. Dominance over the owner, that is also very important. You should not allow your pup, you should not allow your dog to get dominant.
Yes.
If you allow the dog to become dominant, it will dominant throughout the life. And you will have to remain as submissive. So subordinate and the dominant, this relation has to be taken into consideration. Dogs should never be allowed to be more dominant.
It should be maintained.
It should not be, it should obey the command of the trainer. It should obey the master. It should not overpower the master. So that sometimes happens. That is not a good sign. Then destructive attitudes. Go and break here and there. Right? When valuable objects are being crushed, that attitude should not be there. Or that attitude should be condemned. Then there is desire for affection. That is good quality. Affection, everybody wants affection. So suppose a pup has gone to a lady, and lady is repelling the pup. In that case, pup becomes depressed. If the lady hug the pup, pet the pup affectionately, love the pup, so pup will be more attached to the lady. Otherwise, that fellow will not go to the lady because he knows that he will repel me. He is not liking me. So that point is also very, very important. Then jealousy. Jealousy also a part of behavior. When there are 2 or 3 dogs, one is getting more, one is getting less, so it becomes jealous to the others. Or if you give more affection to one dog, other becomes jealous. Because my master is not carrying him more than me, therefore it becomes jealous. Or master is giving more food to him and giving less food to me, so it becomes jealous. So jealous is a part of life. In human being also jealous is a part of life, and in canine family also jealous is a part of life. Right? At the same time you feel that they have got the pack behavior. That means few dogs remain in a locality and one is dominant. In the locality also some dogs are jealous, some pups are jealous, some bitch are jealous of the others. So the quality jealous, we are trying to minimize it in the society. That jealousy has to be minimized. But it is there in man, it is there in, right? So jealousy and submission. Submission is very important. In case of family, the head of the family says, don't do it, you must submit. This is the quality of life. If a owner says, submit to the master. Don't do it, don't cry, don't bark, right? In that case, if the dog obeys or responds to the call, then it is submit. That part is very, very important, submission, right? Submission to the authority. Here authority means owner, or here authority means owner, or the people who is caring, who is feeding, who is nurturing, they are the people whom the dog should submit it, or pup should submit. Right, submission is also very important. And last is independence. Independence, everybody wants to be independent. In nature, everybody from birth want to be independent. I myself will do this thing. So that quality is there in dogs. Because when they are clubbed together, one will say, I am the dominant, I'll do, I am independent. I'll not go to your society, I'll remain in my alone as the independent person. That is also there, like human being, in canine also. So in civilization, both man and animal, both are more or less equally coordinated or equally balanced.
Thank you, sir. Today we have learned from Dr. Amalandu Chakravarti about major point are considering for selection of a dog and pup. Also, we learned how to maintain a pet and which point to be considered during purchase of pet. Hope it will add your knowledge. Hope you are liking our video today. If yes, like, share and comment. Also subscribe our channel. We will be coming soon with a new interesting video very soon. Thank you.